How's it going, YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming at you guys with kind of a road to YCS London type video. As many of you will probably have guessed, I will be attending YCS London. I try to attend every YCS that has occurred in the UK, and I've actually attended every YCS so far that's happened in the UK, now that I think about it. Because they're so few and far between, and it's so expensive to travel to the European continent, I do try and attend all the big events that happen over here, as sparse as they are. And this has basically been my first bit of testing for it since the Cardiff Gold qualifiers. And for the Cardiff Gold qualifiers, I basically literally just picked this deck up and played it. So this is almost the second time I've played this deck. I've been very busy over the past 3 weeks, so I haven't had much time to test. So this is kind of a preliminary theory brew that I threw together. I've already identified a couple of things that I'm probably going to take out or change. So I'll probably talk about those in this video. This is also a tournament report, which will be mentioned quite quickly at the end of the video. But this is mainly a review, because this was my first ever kind of trial run of this new build, where I actually cut out the really goofy cards like Formula Synchron and Shooting Star, even though Formula Synchron might be able to find a place back in the deck. Either way, I'm going to stop waffling and actually talk about what I played and how I feel about them, I guess. Of course, we played the 12 Dragon engine. There's really not much to talk about with the 12 Dragon engine. You know, it's not like I'd review these or cut anything or anything like that. I am playing one Dragonite Corseska. I was playing two on my Dueling Network build. I was playing a variant which played 2 of this and 3 consonants. And there were so many situations, and people are going to decry me for this, but it's player preference. So I'm basing a lot of these things on player preference. When I was playing 2 of this and 3 consonants, I found the deck to be a lot more inconsistent compared to when I played 1 and 2 consonants. So, I mean, maybe it's a worse build, but it fits the way I play the deck a bit more. So I feel happier just playing the 1 Corseska. Yes, it does mean I have less targets to search off of Ravine. I only have the 1 search off of Ravine, but oh well. I then played the 1 Flame Guard. I feel the need for the 2 level 1 tuners. You definitely need to be playing 2, but I like to have the additional, the different one. I don't like to have 2 Corseskas. I like to have the 1 guard, 1 Corseska, because the fire is really useful, especially going into game 2 to use Blaster's effect. It's really quite essential. Then continuing on with the tuners, I play 4 Consonance targets. I also play 2 Debris Dragons. Debris Dragon is pretty good. I've no real hate towards the card. It's incredibly powerful in this deck. It's actually a card that I see as one of the biggest power cards in my build, simply because I'm playing the Fog King variant and multiple Debris Dragon targets. I just think the card is incredibly powerful when used correctly. It goes for Ancient Fairy Dragon plays, Black Rose plays, Star Eater plays. It's just incredibly good. So I really like its function in this deck, and I definitely wouldn't cut it down. And I try to avoid consonancing it as often as I can, but there are just some situations in which it can't be helped. I'm still playing the Trooper variant. These were the consonants and the extra Corseska. And I tested 2 builds. I tested the earlier one, and I tested this one on Dueling Network. And this one was so much more consistent. It won its game 1s so much easier, which meant I didn't have to fear the heavy Iron Wall stuff that was going in the mirror. So not going in the mirror, going in game 2 and 3. And I really liked it in the mirror going in game 1, because it was incredibly powerful for giving me the speed. Because if I opened inconsistently, I needed speed to get out of that. So I feel the 2 Troopers were necessary. I then played the 1 Trigon. This was a leftover from when I wasn't playing the 2 Troopers and I wasn't playing Dandelion. I was only playing the Fog King, and I was playing the Fog King and no other targets for Debris Dragon. So I really wanted to have this as a way to do my targets. I think for a while I was testing Dandelion, but when I didn't have Troopers and it was only Dandelion as my 1 Debris Dragon target, other than like Maxis and Fog King, I really felt that this was necessary. Now that I'm playing the Fog King, the Dandelion, and 2 Troopers, I think this card is redundant, so it is immediately being taken out after this video. If I were ever to cut the 2 Troopers, I would put this back in to give me a more consistent Black Rose or Ancient Fairy Dragon engine. But at the moment, I don't feel the Trigon is necessary, and this deck is currently 42 cards. I need to cut something, so the Trigon is currently to be taken out. So we'll just put that over there. Then continuing on, as you just saw, I play the 1 Dandelion. The versatility of this card is incredible. Let's start with the Redox Reborn play. Redox Reborn a tuner by pitching Redox, and this, you get 2 tokens. You can go Miss Valley Bird. So you can go Miss Bird, Clausulus. That's a great play in and of itself. If you have access to Formula Synchron, which I'm possibly going to put in, you can go Redox Reborn level 1 tuner by sending this. So you get the tuner, 2 tokens, make Formula Synchron, draw 1, and then make Miss Bird, and then you can summon another big dragon. So Miss Bird lets you get over absolutely anything, and then your big dragon can do the actual beating down of the other thing. Also, the versatility of this card, along with Debris Dragon, is incredible. The fact that you can make so many different ranks, the fact that the added tokens stop you from being OTK'd, you just get so much versatility out of it. And there's also the power of it with cards like Raigeki Break. When you discard it with Raigeki Break or discarding it off of Ravine, those 2 tokens can really put in a lot of work, especially when you're able to, say, end phase kill something with Raigeki Break, ditching Dandelion, and then you go into your turn, tribute the 2 tokens for a Dragon Ruler, or something to that nature. So it's pretty nice. I'll stop jabbering about that. Fog King. This is going to be a long video. I want to actually talk through my cards because I apparently don't really do that to enough detail. So this is a review video. So this is talky. So if you're bored by now, turn off. Because I know I'll get comments saying you talk too much. Fog King is something that I was testing back when people were talking about, oh, Star Eater is this brand new card coming out and Debris Dragon is going to make it broken. So I got a Fog King, and I tested it for a while when I was testing my OCG build of Dragon Rollers with Trishula, and I initially cut it because I was focusing too heavily on Trishula with my plant engine. And then Merlin Schumacher played this at the most recent American YCS, and I thought, hey, let's give that another go. Let's have another test with it, and I loved it. It's really quite good. It lets me get into Dracosack and Big Eye a lot easier because of the fact you can just a normal summonable level 7. You just drop it. You just normal summon it without tribute. So you make 1 dragon, and if you can't make the 2nd dragon, it's helpful in inconsistent situations. Unless you make Dracosack for little to no cost, it also gets around the max C. Like it means you can make things with 1 less special summon, so it minuses the max C, I guess. So it makes the Maxi challenge a little easier. So it's a nice card. Then following that, I play 3 Maxi in main because you kind of have to in this format. Like, there's no explanation needed in the 3 Maxi in main. I don't like maining Veiler because Veiler has become really quite bad this format. But what I do like playing is the 1 Swift Scarecrow, because there are so many Dragon players that just YOLO into Maxi or just YOLO all this stuff onto the table when you're holding a Debris Dragon with a Dandelion engraved. And if you have this in hand, you're just like, yeah, you keep going minus, Swift, and then just go Debris Dragon, Dandelion, Black Rose, and you've got your Dark Hole. You've got so many big removal cards in this deck that Swift Scarecrow, if you can time it right when your opponent tries to make a big game push, you can just win the game from them overextending. As I said, overextending on a Maxi, which has happened to me a lot. And also this is really good as a held card so that you can beat the opponent's return from the different dimension if they get it first. My big focus on the theory testing so far has been the Dragon Ruler Mirror because it's what I expect to play against the most. So if I'm talking quite substantially about the Dragon Mirror and not about many other matchups, it's mainly because I don't fear any of the other matchups. Evil Swarm, I can deal with. Constella, I can deal with. It is the Dragon Mirror that I am really not looking forward to because it's the only thing that can keep up with it. Dragonity Ruler, I should comment on, is a deck that I really don't rate. I understand the merit of it, but I can't play it personally, and I feel it has a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of weaknesses, like 2 Veiler and Skill Drain. For the spells, we play the Dark Hole. I still like this. Some people don't get it. 1 Book of Moon. Again, this gets around the Swift Scarecrow. It gets around the opponent's... it can book a lot of the opponent's stuff. It gets around the Crimson Blader, of course. And it's just such a versatile card. It's a battle trap. It deals with Thunder King, which is a big threat in Constellas at the moment. It just books so many different threat cards. Sombre. It's really good against Constella and Evil Swarm if I manage to stop them getting the Lance card. So it's just a really useful card. Really versatile. I really like it. So it's useful. Play the double consonants. I feel 3 was inconsistent. I didn't like 3, so 2. Also, the fact that I really don't like consonanting my Debris Dragons away, that may have had something to do with the fact that I don't like the 3rd consonants. I then played the 3 sword. I played one of these today and drew 2 more swords, which wasn't very friendly, but that's the thing. The draw power this card offers, the +1, It's just so good. You need to play it. And I'm then playing 3 copies of Dragon Ravine. This card makes the deck. If this card didn't exist, Dragon Ruler would be a lot weaker than it actually is. And this card, in tandem with Ancient Fairy Dragon, is an incredibly powerful engine against anything that plays field spells. It's incredibly good against Prophecy and in the mirror. But this card is just so damn good right now in this deck. I can't really think of anything else to say on the matter now. Oh yeah, Terraforming. I'd consider playing Terraforming, but I'm at 42 cards at the moment. If I have a massive like cut fest and manage to cut loads of different cards out of the deck, I'll put Terraforming in, because you need to find this really quick. You really do. But at the moment, I don't have the room for the Terraforming, and I don't really see what I would cut. So the Ravines are just staying in there on their lonesome. So that's the spells. As you can guess, the deck is majority monsters, as the Dragon Rulers have always been. And then for the traps, play double Regeki Break. The disruption this card offers is incredible. You're really not paying a cost because you're playing 12 Dragon Rulers, a Dandelion, and a half a dozen other cards that want to be in the graveyard, so you really don't care. This offers you so much control over the board. It allows you to stop OTKs, stop key integral cards. It's just really, really strong. Also in review, I really prefer this over Wing Blast, because again, in the mirror, Wing Blast puts so many things back on top of the deck. Wing Blasting also doesn't kill the Vanity's Emptiness. If you Wing Blast like another card they have, their Vanity's Emptiness won't die because it's not a card being sent to the grave. It just gives you so many... I feel that Wing Blast is good against some rogue decks, but in the mirror, which is like 90% of your games now, I think, you really don't want to have the Wing Blast, in my opinion. And also, like, you don't want to Wing Blast a Ravine, because they're just going to get it again. Like, it's not practical. I really don't like it. So, that's just me. I just like to kill stuff. I don't like to set it back a turn. I play the 2 Vanity's Emptinesses because it's the stun. You need to be able to get that lock going if you can get it. So, I really like Vanity's Emptiness. I didn't draw it that often today. I drew it against the Gadget player I played against, but otherwise, Vanity's Emptiness it's a good card, but I didn't see it very much. I'm testing one Castle of Dragon Souls. I've been testing this for a while on Dueling Network, and it's been incredibly powerful. Especially for when your opponent goes Crimson Blader, when they're fairly sure there's absolutely nothing you can do. When you've got like one big dragon out and they go Crimson Blader attacking your dragon, and you go, yeah, that's fine, damage step, this. And it's so powerful just for that facility. And the fact that it's a return from the different dimension when it dies, so you can put yourself in a situation where you go like, even if this is just set and it's been dead for a while and you just want to get like pluses, you can go Debris Dragon, make a Black Rose, Debris Dragon, get Dandy, or something like that, get a target. Go this, banishing a dragon, searching, putting your Debris Dragon up by a little bit, and then you do the search for the dragon, because if you, long story short, you don't want this to miss timing, you then go Black Rose, blow up the field with his face up, and you can get that banished dragon back, and it basically means you can Black Rose everything on the field and still get field presence afterwards, so you're then going to be able to get the 2 tokens, and this. No, you can't do it if you're getting the Dandy tokens, so don't use Dandelion. You can't do it if you're getting the Dandy tokens, because it'll miss timing. Sorry, it's 2 in the morning. It's 2 in the morning. I put this deck profile off too late. But this is really versatile. I really like this. I then played the one Return from the Different Dimension, which is stupidly good. And then the most infamous card in this deck. I played 1 copy of Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense was nutty today. I played it 4 times. I played it 3 times in Swiss, once in a test game I played against a friend of mine, and 3 times in Swiss I activated it. I got a 5 each time. Well, my opponent rolled a 5 each time, and against the Prophecy player I was testing against in just a testing game, they rolled a 6 for this. This card was nutty. It shouldn't be in the game. I don't think it like ruins the game, but I really want this card to be banned. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to play it because it's broken. Anyway, I'm sorry this video is so long, but I want to give an insight on as many cards as I can. I want to give you guys my thoughts, because this is a road video. This isn't just a random deck profile. So, for the extra deck, thoughts. There should, cards I want to put in here. I want to put in a Formula Synchron. I want to put in another Stardust Dragon, and I want to put in another Crimson Blader, and I want to put in another Star Eater, but there's just no room. So, things might be cut in future. There are cards I don't make, but we'll see what happens. So to start things off, I play the 1 Mistbird. I've made this once. It's incredibly good when you make it, but you hardly ever make it. So I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's great in Game 2 and things like that for dealing with certain problem cards, because you can just pitch a Dandelion, and then have a level 1 tuner, and you can make this, and it deals with so many different things that lock you out. I play the 1 Armory Arm. I've never made this. I understand that it is good, but I've never made it, so I would gladly cut this, and I can see myself cutting it. The 1 Allied Justice Castor. I have been playing this in my deck for... in every incarnation of this deck that I've ever played, and I've never once made it, so this will probably be cut before YCS London. I've never, ever, ever needed this, so I don't see why I'm still playing it. The 1 Orient Dragon, this is a staple card in my opinion, because of all the synchros that are currently in the meta right now. The fact that you can just make it off of a Debris Dragon and a Maxi, it's incredibly good. Also, another card I really want to play is Red Dragon Arcfiend, because there are so many situations in which I need a 3k beta or something that can just get over things, and I feel that Red Dragon Arcfiend would be really good. I'm then playing the 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon, which is essential in my opinion for the mirror match and anything that plays field spells. 2 copies of Black Rose Dragon, because you can't Black Rose enough, honestly. Black Rose is so powerful, and there are situations in which you do need the second. I could possibly cut the second. I did not make the second today, but I did at the gold qualifier, so I feel like it should stay in there. I played the 1 Stardust Dragon. There were situations in which I made this and wanted a second one later on in the game when it died, so I'd consider playing a second. It's such a powerful control card. 1 Scrap Dragon, I'm happy with 1. 1 Scrap Dragon is enough. 1 Crimson Blader, I only ever make 1, but I feel that in the mirror having 2 would be nice. There have been a couple of situations where I need a second. They haven't been like do or die situations where I just lose if I don't have it, but I quite like having it just as an option. The 1 Colossal Fighter for combating my opponent's Crimson Bladers, my opponent's Blasters, things like that. Just the 2800 beaters that you need to deal with, just because of the fact that he can bring himself back, and he can nick an opponent's Crimson Blader if he crashes into it. And then play the 1 Starry. There are so many situations, especially because this deck plays Fog King, where you can go into a second Star Eater. So it's a consideration. It's something I definitely consider. And then the Xyzes are 2 Draco Sacks. It's actually worth playing 2 with Fog King in the deck, because you actually make 2. Before, I never really made more than 1, but now you definitely make 2 with Crimson Blade. Sorry, with Fog King in the deck. And then play 1 Big Eye. I make this quite a bit. It's in there. Like you don't need it as much as you did in Dragon format. You only need the 1, so it's quite nice because I only have 1. And I then play my 2 Fluff tokens, hopefully adding some more YCS tokens to the pool when I go to the YCS, and the 2 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens for the Draco Sack. So, I found that it's essential, and it's probably going to be essential for you guys if you're going to a major event, to try and get 2 different types of token. 1 for your Fluff tokens and 1 for your Mecha Phantom Beast tokens, because confusion can occur between yourself and an opponent if you have Mecha Phantom Beast tokens and Fluff tokens on the field at the same time, because they do have different stat lines. Their levels do matter in Synchro Summon battles, so you may wish to have different tokens to denote that. Right, onto the sideboard. The sideboard was really clamoured together because I built it early I built it late last night, and it was just like, what kind of stuff is in my side deck binder that I can put in a deck? So this is a side deck built like on theory. So this is what I have. Double Kaiku. This is for the mirror and for the prophecy matchup. It's incredibly powerful in the mirror. It's incredibly powerful in the prophecy matchup. This is my answer to not being able to play Iron Wall myself. I can't play Iron Wall for obvious reasons, but I can play this. It's Iron Wall for my opponent, basically, unless they're going to be able to banish dragons from the hand. And usually I can have something like a Vanity's Emptiness or a Raigeki Break to protect this. Also, the only thing that in the Dragon Ruler deck that can normal summon and beat over this is either Card Trooper, which a lot of Dragon Ruler decks are dropping because of the Crimson Blader matchup, and Debris Dragon. Debris Dragon can normal summon into, and make a synchro and kill this. Those are the only 2 things that I'm pretty sure can kill it. Otherwise, you have to banish 2 dragons from your hand to summon a dragon, and it's just not good Yugis, so these 2 are good. They're really good. The 1 Vanity's Fiend. I'm probably going to bump this up to 2. The Vanity's Fiend was in there as just a normal summonable way to completely lock my opponent, and it's a lot less vulnerable than Vanity's Emptiness. There is also not a single card in the Dragon Ruler mirror, in the Dragon Ruler main deck, that can be normal summoned over this. There's nothing that can normal summon over it. There's nothing that can normal set that this can't kill. So it's incredibly powerful, but of course it loses to Raigeki Break and Blaster's Effect. Those are the fears. I then play 1 Metian. This was a card that I never boarded in and I might cut. It's okay. It's very good in the Evil Swarm matchup, and it's okay in the Dragon Mirror. I have been siding it in the Dragon Mirror. but it's something that I'm unsure on and I will consider in the future. Staying true to my actual deck profile from today's event, I played one Xyz Encore because I only had one. I now have a second one and I will be playing 2 at the event, and I'll actually be cutting Ref Panel because I feel it's an inconsistent card for the second Encore at the actual event, because I do not want to lose to Evil Swarm because I think it's one of the most degenerate decks in the world, and that comes from someone playing dragons. Like, Evil Swarm is such a simple deck to play and it upsets me how good it is because it's just drop 2 monsters, make an Xyz, set 4 back row. So I have a big hate for Evil Swarm. And it's also good against Constella, which is going to be seeing a big increase in play due to the Constella's winning the ARG circuit open. So I do want to have my responses ready for that deck. So yeah. And then play the 3MST inside because you kind of have to. 3MST is so good against all the rogue decks that are going to put Iron Walls, and it's so good in the mirror for that Dragon Ravine and things like that. So the MSTs are in there. I then played the one Ref Panel. I never put it in because I didn't play Dragon Mirror today. Because I arrived late, so I started the whole thing with a game loss. So it's in there. I've used it on Dueling Network a couple of times, but I feel that it's inconsistent and there are better cards you could side. So it's just my opinion. I don't know. Double Divine Wrath. Divine Wrath is just really, really good. I really like the card, so I wouldn't dare cut it. The double Skill Drain, it's so good against anything rogue. Mainly because of the fact of all your Dragon Rulers stick. All your Dragon Rulers don't return to your hand anymore. So Skill Drain is a really cool card for that respect. And I'm then playing 2 Royal Decree inside because there are some decks where they just have loads of back row or Iron Wall as a card. And while this card can shut you out of your Sixth Sense and your Return from the Different Dimension and things like that, in some situations, I'd rather run this and have it clash than lose to Iron Wall because I couldn't stop it. That's my only thing. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Road to YCS London Part 1 video. I know this has been 22 minutes now. I'm sorry about that, but I felt that it was really good to impart a bit of theory on you guys. I really want to talk a bit of theorio, rather than just talk, oh, this is the deck I played, here's a few cards that were in it, here's no information. And I hope that this will help some of you who are playing Dragons for the main event, like kind of think about how to combat the meta and kind of make considerations on how you're going to build your deck. And otherwise, if you've enjoyed this segment with a lot of theory, with like an overarching amount of theory, please let me know, and I can do more of these. I can do more actual get inside the mind of Jamie the Kid 00, if you're interested in that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not going to talk about the locals. The matchups will be in the description if I remember to. This is 2 in the morning, so if there's no deck list or anything like that in the description, I'm sorry. But yeah, I will see you guys when I do. If you are going to be viewing the coverage from wherever you are, look out for Jamie Walkinshaw, that's JamieWalkinshaw, on the coverage, and you will be able to see how I'm doing and see me scrub out of the main event. I'm going to be trying to do some coverage and try to do some recording on the venue. I do not know what Konami Europe is like about cameras. I know that in the US they're quite uptight about it, but I'm going to do what I can, try and call in some favours with some judges and see what I can get. Anyway, I will see you guys when I do. This is me, Jamie the Kid 00. I hope you've enjoyed this Road to YCS London informational video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.